The poet Warsan Shire writes, "You don't leave home unless home is the mouth of a shark." It's not meant to be funny, but I want to reassure you, because you left this mouth of a shark, that your home had become, that we're committed to working to transform this world, not just by offering dollars today, but in whatever ways we can, through our votes, through our attitudes, through our continued action, to make sure that this home, it's a little bit of a mouth of a shark right now, not gonna lie, that we lessen that we file those teeth down and get rid of the dangers that there are right now for you. And thank you so much for your stories. Friends, I crossed so much of this out while I was listening to those stories. So let me get to some finer points. We're talking about pluralism today, which is the perfect day to have these young women here sharing their stories. Because pluralism is about opening ourselves to other stories, right? It's about widening the circle. And I think it's fair to say that pluralism is having a difficult moment right now in this country. We live in a time where people are increasingly encouraged to fear one another. We're told that our neighbors are our threats. We're told that difference is dangerous. We're told that belonging is something to be earned rather than something that flows from our shared humanity. But these are not the guiding ideas that we hold true, which is why pluralism is one of our most important shared spiritual commitments. Our UU value statement about pluralism says we celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. We heard these stories a few moments ago, and we welcome them into our hearts as they are sacred offerings. So much of the national conversation right now around immigration happens in language of numbers and policies and political slogans. And human beings become abstractions and neighbors become talking points. And pluralism calls upon us to resist that temptation, calls upon us to instead start with stories like we heard today. It begins by listening to the people whose lives are too often spoken about, but who are rarely listened to. It begins by recognizing that every person carries wisdom born of their own experience and that our understanding of the world remains incomplete until we have heard voices different from our own. But pluralism is not simply about inviting diverse people into the room. It's about ensuring that diverse communities have real representation, real participation, and real power. Pluralism demands more than diversity. It demands justice. And that is why this value matters so deeply to us right now. Because we're living in a moment when difference is, again, treated as a threat. We witness attacks on immigration right now. We see affronts to narrow religious freedom. We see attempts to weaken the political power and disenfranchise the voting communities of color among us. We also see growing hostility toward transgender and the broader LGBTQ community. Recently, the Trump administration described organizations that are radically pro-transgender as terroristic threats. Today at 3:15, there is an anti-trans action going on in front of the Redwood City Library. A group of anti-trans people are going to be there. If you're free between 3:15 and 4:30 today, it's a beautiful day outside, I invite you to show up at the Redwood City Library outside of where this other place is going, and please wear your full rainbow regalia and dance and sing. History teaches us that when governments and institutions begin describing entire groups of people as threats rather than neighbors, democracy itself is endangered. Our value of pluralism is endangered because it rests on the radical claim that every human being possesses inherent worth and dignity, that every human being belongs, that our society is stronger, not weaker, because of our differences. And as beautiful as that claim is, it is not universally accepted right now. It's under threat. And it must be defended. And that is our work. So let us be very clear about pluralism. Pluralism is not simply the easy work of celebrating diversity when it's convenient. Pluralism is the courageous work of protecting one another's humanity when fear, prejudice, and power tell us not to. It's the decision to widen the circle when others are trying to narrow it, to listen when others would dismiss, to welcome when others would exclude, to stand beside those whose dignity is under attack. Our mission says that we're a religious community of open hearts and open minds working together to transform ourselves and the world. Practicing pluralism is one of the ways we do that. These young women this morning have inspired us with their courage. May we have the courage to defend pluralism. May we have the courage to widen that circle. And may we have the courage to keep transforming ourselves and this beautiful world. Amen.
Open my heart, open my heart, open my heart, open my heart. Open my heart, open my heart, open my heart, open my heart. Open my heart, open my heart, Open my heart. Open my heart. Open